Hey friends, how y'all doing? I am of course back today with another speed build video because I can't leave y'all hanging for too long. Also, if my voice sounds weird, it's just because I'm having a little bit of sore throat, you know, it's the season and that's kind of just how it is sometimes. Anyway, the build today is actually a request left on a video by a commenter, and in this case that commenter just happens to be my brother. He's just bought a couple of new packs, the vampire one and the werewolf one, and he also wanted a mix of the realm of magic in there. Asked me to basically just create a house for these three kinds of occults. And then he also asked it to be more of this Gothic style, which is so hard because it's a very detailed style, and I obviously will never get anything super correct because I don't really Google or try to adhere too much to history rules, but it's just kind of inspired by that era and what I've seen in movies and so forth. It was kind of like inspired by the Wednesday series on Netflix. So like these are the vibes we were going for. But I placed the house on a lot in Forgotten Hollow, and the outside of the house is very dark and with a pointy ass roof. Because if you're ever trying to make something even slightly whimsical or adventurous or magical looking, then just make it super pointy and curve the roof a little bit. Like make the roofline a little bit taller than you feel comfortable with, and suddenly it gives it this weird look that really fits in with this magical theme. Like looking at this roof now, I even think I could have gone slightly more dramatic with it and made it even pointier. Always just looks a little bit weird and off in the beginning, but you kind of get used to it and then you can just gradually make it pointier and pointier. Also, this is not a limited pack build. I don't even know how many packs I use, probably too many. But I do make limited pack builds every once in a while, and then I just put these in and kind of spice it up in between, you know? I try to keep it balanced between, you know, wanting it to still be fun content and wanting to show the creativity, and for the people who really are into The Sims and probably has all of it, and then also making it for the more everyday kind of simmer who just wants a nice little house with their seasons pack, you know? But I'm always open to making a request, so if you leave a request in the comments and you actually don't have that many packs, leave it down there, tell me what you have and I'll work with it. Maybe some of them I won't have, but then, you know, we'll make a mix, you know? This house actually ended up being 4 stories. I never really make houses this big, but I wanted this to be kind of like an old mansion kind of vibe, you know, old money, they have lived for generations and decades and maybe centuries. So they've just accumulated a lot of wealth to build into this house. So the 4 stories consist of a basement for the vampire, then a main floor, a first floor, and an attic. I've never succeeded or even really tried to make an attic before that's actually under the roof itself. In general, I've started to get more creative with the roofs and how I can convert them into some sort of livable space. You might have noticed the greenhouse in the retro bungalow I did a while ago, where I also made a roof and connected it to the house, and then I just made it a livable space too. Obviously they aren't ideal for gameplay, but I find them fun nonetheless, and the attic in this one works so well when you have the walls down, like it could really be any room. So it's just, instead of wasting the space, I just try to use it. So as I said, I made the basement for the vampire, and then the first floor is actually for the werewolf, and then I gave the witch the attic. So they kind of have each their own room on their own floor with their own bathroom. And being the Sims, they of course have no understanding of personal space, so they're always invading each other's rooms, but it's a little bit funny, especially because it gives the vampire and werewolf an extra reason for bickering. Alright, but moving on to the inside, I gave the first floor, or the main floor, sorry, a bit more of a closed off layout. I think it's very typical in old houses to have these very divided kind of layouts where, you know, you have a dining room, you have a kitchen, you have a living room, you have each of these rooms with their separate purpose and not this kind of like more open floor plan that we're used to nowadays. Also, it just gives it a more grand and formal kind of look. Probably because we associated with these old manors and big mansions, and I at least also associated a lot with vampires. I grew up watching stuff like the Vampire Diaries, and that kind of stuff was really big in my day, and they would always have these dark kind of mansions, you know? Then on the other hand, the rooms themselves for the occults are a lot more informal. I wanted them to be super lived in, you know, they've had years of traveling and experience under their belt, and now this is just their home where it's just accumulation of all the things they have. The one that I found the most fun to decorate was probably the werewolf one, because I hadn't actually realized what kind of stuff would come with the werewolf pack, and I loved that they gave us these like kind of trailer vibes. and making them lumberjacks and, you know, super close to nature and pack mentality and a little bit aggressive. I thought it was so much fun. And I love the look of so much of the stuff that we got from the pack. Like, I love the layered rugs, I love the couch, all the patchwork stuff is just amazing, and I think it might be one of my favorite packs. At least if I had to choose between the 3 kinds of occults, I would definitely choose the werewolf one. Even though the werewolves themselves look so weird. I don't know, my boyfriend called it a furry's wet dream, and I'm starting to think he might be right. Also, I said 3 kinds of occults. We of course also have the mermaids from the Island Living pack, and this was, so far at least, my favorite one. But now I don't know if I have to choose between the werewolf and the Island Living one, then I don't even know which one I'd choose. Anyway, what kind of the occults are your favorite? Like, leave it down in the comment. I'd love to know what you like. For the Witch's Attic, I actually started out with this purple kind of color scheme, but it reminded me a little too much of the Witch's Cottage I made a few weeks ago. I think it's a little bit hard sometimes to create different looking rooms when you're making it with the same packs, especially when it's with these kind of packs, because they have that very specific look to them. But then I kind of gained another vision when I made a sim for it. Sometimes in order to visualize the rooms better and who lives there, I actually go in and make the sims. They are also the ones that you see when I'm putting in the live mode edits. So this witch turned out to be a lot more fun and bubbly. I think she's the one who kind of glues the 3 of them together, and I wanted the room to reflect that instead of that moody dark purple. So I turned it green and orange-ish. Also, all my builds right now are currently being made in one big save file, and I'm kind of working towards maybe someday hopefully being able to publish the save file so you can get all my sims and all my creations just like that into your game. The only hard part about it is that I use a lot of custom content for the sims themselves. I don't really use it for my lots, but I do like to use it on the sims. And if I had to re-upload like a folder with all my CC in it in order for it to work for you, that's kind of bad form, you know, to re-upload someone else's work. So I'm not entirely sure how I'd go about that, or if I try to recreate the save file once again and then, you know, make some DC-free kind of sims. I don't know. I could also upload it as a document where I've put absolutely everything in there and linked it instead of uploading it as a folder. I don't know if anyone would use it though, or if it's too much work for you guys. So let me know in the comments if you like how you'd like me to go about this save file. Anyway, it's probably like weeks and months away, so it's not anything to get too worried about right now, but I've at least been like brewing in my thoughts about it. Also, speaking about the sims themselves, I've really gotten into making these shorts of some sims. I think it's obviously just super encouraging because your shorts will always get so many more views than your videos. Wisely taking like none of the same effort that I put into this. Like, this is a full day's work probably. Like, this is 8 hours, you know? Whilst my short is just like me sitting around at night and making a pretty sim because I want to, and then, you know, filming it at the end and then putting the video together for like, you know, 15 minutes. It's crazy the amount of work and effort compared to what you gain from it. Because there's no denying that it's so encouraging to see the views. I'm also super excited about my base game build. This right now got like 600 views. You know, that's a huge milestone for me because I'm such a tiny content creator. That is so crazy that a short I will have made, you know, in no time will get 3,000 views. Another thing that's super crazy to me is that right now I have 78 subscribers, and I think I didn't even start that long ago, you know? The fact that I'm already nearing 100 subscribers, and you know, it's only going faster and faster every day, which is so insane, and I love watching it climb. And also, hi to all my new friends and subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I notice whenever one of you comes. And if you're new here, obviously most of us are because it's a new channel. Feel free to introduce yourself down in the comments, or not, you know, you don't have to. But I'm slowly trying to build this kind of community where we can all kind of be friends and help each other out, talk about everything down in the comments, stay positive, and, you know, just foster this kind of fun community that The Sims is really cool for having. And I suppose most gaming communities have it, but I at least like this one a lot. And if you want to help create a space for this, like, please just talk, you know, that's all you can do, and it means so much. Because monkey see, monkey do, if someone comments, someone else will, and then we'll all just get talking in no time and get to know each other and, you know, have another kind of support group. Anyway, we're nearing the end now, so thank you so much for watching today. I've had a lot of fun, and of course the build is now up on the gallery, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye!